On this episode of the Property Investor Show, I'm going to go over 4 reasons why you won't make money flipping houses. What? There's just an article written on apartmenttherapy.com by John Gorey, who wrote 4 different reasons why he thinks you won't make money flipping houses. So let's go over those real quick. Number 1. Commissions. John Gorey talks about how commissions are a huge blunder and they're going to absolutely kill your returns on investment when it comes to flipping houses. So apparently nobody actually factors in commissions or actual selling costs when it comes to flipping homes, and it's a surprise at the very last minute. When it comes to flipping a house, you obviously factor in holding costs, selling costs, renovations, and everything like that at the end of the day. So you actually know what your bottom line number should be. So if you have a calculator or an Excel spreadsheet or the most simple piece of pen and paper possible, then you will simply be able to do the right calculations to figure out what you can take home if you sell the property for what you're expecting. So if you are selling a property for $200,000 and you're paying 5% commission, you're going to factor in roughly $10,000 going out the door to commissions. But that's part of the game and you take that into consideration. So there really should be no surprises when it comes to selling a house, and at the very last second you're like, oh no, another 5% right out the door. Reason number 2 why John Gorey says you won't make money flipping houses is that time isn't on your side. So John Gorey brings up the fact that it obviously takes a little bit of time to renovate a property, and if you don't know what you're doing, that could take a really long time. Unforeseen things always pop up when it comes to flipping a house, and so yeah, what you do want to make sure is before you actually close on the property or immediately after, you have the proper game plan in mind and you know exactly what is going to be repaired, you have the contractors lined up, you have the materialists ready to go, and you actually know exactly what you're going to be doing to that property. So when you are in the middle of renovations and surprises do pop up, then obviously you take that into consideration and you adjust your numbers and time frame accordingly. But you don't just go into a property blindly and say, I just bought this house and so when it's done, it's done. No, you buy a property and you know, okay, cool, my timeline is between 30 and 45 days to get this renovated, so it's back on the market by, let's say, August 1st. You have a timeline in place. If you go into a property blind with no game plan, no strategy, and absolutely no proper pieces of the puzzle ready to go when it comes to contractors and materials, yeah, time isn't on your side and you're gonna probably lose money. Number 3, taxes. Apparently, John Gorey thinks that the only people who pay taxes in America are those who flip houses. If you are a citizen and you actually pay taxes and you earn money flipping houses, you're gonna take into consideration taxes to be paid on that money. When it comes to taxes, again, it's another thing that you add to your bottom line. When you know that you're gonna sell a property for X amount, you're gonna take out things like commissions, you're gonna take out things like holding costs or time, and you're also gonna take out personal taxes, federal taxes, state income taxes, whatever you want to call it. It's all about knowing what you're doing and actually having the proper breakdown and net number in mind, and not just thinking, okay, cool, I watched one episode of Flip This House and they sell the house for $200,000 and that's what they walk away from in their pocket. Reason number 4 why John Gorey thinks you won't make money flipping houses is that everyone else is doing it. So right now, pretty much nationwide, the property market is doing extremely well, and there are a lot of people coming out of the woodwork to take advantage of it. So flipping houses isn't exactly rocket science, and pretty much anybody can do it. And so the biggest difference is whether or not you do it properly and you do your due diligence and homework beforehand, rather than, once again, just watching one episode of Flip This House on TV and thinking you're gonna go and invest $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in flipping a house and make $50,000, $60,000, $75,000. It doesn't work that way. You need to make sure that you know what you're doing, how to find a deal, how to get the proper crew lined up ready to go, exactly what it's going to take to get that property to get top dollar in the market, and a lot of other little things. Everybody else is doing it, so you are going to put a little bit of more work into finding a good deal and making sure that you have a competitive advantage against other properties on the market. But again, it just comes down to knowing what you're doing and properly working with either a good real estate agent or wholesaler or investor who's done it in the past, but also most importantly, having a proper game plan in mind. So even though John Gorey thinks there are 4 main reasons why you're not going to make money in real estate, if you simply take the time of doing your own due diligence and homework and strategize accordingly, there really should be no enormous surprises when it comes to flipping a house. So thanks for taking the time of watching this episode of Property Investor Show. Those are 4 reasons why you will make money in real estate and flipping houses if you simply do your homework.